All right, we're going to take a look at electrons and really what is the charge. In chemistry class, you always say things like +1 or +2 or -1, but we've really been describing them with no unit. So it says, until now, we've been practicing problems with a random number of electrons and protons. Positively charged objects have more protons, and negatively charged objects have more electrons. We've been describing these objects with their net number of excess charges. So net meaning the total sum, such as +2 or 3, or -4 or 5. We've been breaking the number one rule of not including units. So the SI unit of charge is named after Charles Augustin de Coulomb, and the unit is coulomb. So one electron has a charge of negative 1.602176487 times 10 to the negative 19th coulombs. Or we can just kind of simplify it to negative 1.6 times 10 to the negative 19th coulombs. You do not have to include that many significant figures. So don't forget the times 10 to the negative 19. That means that one electron is a really, really, really small number of coulombs. Additionally, one negative coulomb would be 6.241509324 times 10 to the 18th electrons. So that's how many electrons are in 1 coulomb of charge. The negative sign is there because it's an electron. If it's a proton, it's the same numerical value or magnitude, but this is just a plus sign instead of a minus sign. And same thing here. That would just be a plus sign instead of a negative sign for protons. And the letter we are going to abbreviate charge with is Q. So Q is the abbreviation, just like V is the abbreviation for velocity. So let's do a conversion. This would be similar to how you converted between grams and moles in chemistry class. You had two different units or two different units that are meaning the same, talking about the same quantity. So now we have the same idea. We're going to go back between coulombs and electrons. So on most of our drawings, we have an excess of 3 electrons. What is the charge in coulombs of those 3 electrons? So I'm going to take my 3 electrons and start with that and multiply it by a conversion factor. If you remember from chemistry, you use dimensional analysis to say, well, if I have electrons as my unit and I don't want electrons as my unit, I'm going to put that on the bottom. I want to get to coulombs, so that unit goes on the top. And then what amount of electrons are equal to how many coulombs? And I will always give you this one. Either would work, but I like to always talk about one electron and its charge of negative 1.6 times 10 to the negative 19th coulombs. In your calculator, you enter that in, and you get a value of negative 4.8 times 10 to the negative 19th coulombs for 3 electrons. The second part of the question says, what is the charge in coulombs of the now positively charged object that lost those 3? Since, again, it's just like +1, -1, they are the same magnitude or same number, just an opposite charge. So that would be positive 4.8 times 10 to the negative 19 coulombs. Number 2 is similar, starts a little bit differently. It's giving you a charge and asking for how many electrons. So I'll start you off with that. It's going to be negative 2.6 times 10 to the negative 6 coulombs times, again, we want our unit of coulombs on the bottom, electron on the top. 1 electron for every one negative 0.6 times 10 to the negative 19 coulombs. You do that in your calculator and you get your answer. Try to finish up those problems and see where you get.